80 minutes. That's all it took for hackers to penetrate one of the world's most sophisticated financial systems and walk away with $71 million. The target was Mercatrade, a global giant in online trading. The date was etched in cybersecurity infamy. March 3rd, 2025. The day had begun like any other at Mercatrade's headquarters, a gleaming skyscraper piercing the London skyline. Hundreds of employees bustled about, their faces illuminated by the glow of multiple monitors. The air buzzed with the frenetic energy of high-stakes trading. Millions of dollars changed hands with every click and keystroke. But beneath this veneer of normalcy, a digital storm was brewing, one that would soon shake Mercatrade to its core. Deep within the labyrinthine network of Mercatrade's system, a series of seemingly innocuous events began to unfold. These events, at first glance, appeared to be nothing more than routine system activities, the kind that any large-scale operation might experience on a daily basis. An unusually high volume of data requests pinged their servers. The data transfer graphs spiked unexpectedly, catching the attention of the monitoring team. Login attempts from unknown IP addresses triggered brief security alerts. These alerts, though fleeting, were enough to raise eyebrows among the IT security staff. An observant IT technician noticed a slight lag in transaction processing times. This lag, while minor, was unusual and prompted a closer inspection of the system logs. These were subtle anomalies, easily dismissed as routine glitches in a complex system. The IT team, accustomed to dealing with minor issues, initially saw no cause for alarm. However, like hairline cracks in a dam, these seemingly insignificant events were the harbingers of a catastrophic breach. The small issues hinted at a much larger underlying problem that was slowly coming to the surface. Unbeknownst to the Mercatrade team, a group of highly skilled hackers had infiltrated their outer defenses and were meticulously probing for vulnerabilities. These hackers were not just any cybercriminals. They were experts in their field, operating with precision and intent. Their tools were not brute force, but finesse and patience. They used advanced software to analyze the system, looking for the smallest weaknesses to exploit. Each successful bypass, each ignored alert, brought them one step closer to the digital vault holding Mercatrade's treasure. The hackers knew that with each unnoticed breach, they were inching closer to their ultimate goal. The warning signs were there, flashing like neon signs in the digital darkness. The security team, however, was overwhelmed with a constant barrage of low-level alerts. Years of dealing with minor threats and false alarms had bred a sense of complacency. A crucial software update, designed to patch the very vulnerability the hackers were exploiting, sat uninstalled, lost in a backlog of bureaucratic approvals. Internal memos warning of potential weaknesses in their system had been tabled, deemed too costly or time-consuming to address. The pressure to maintain uptime and maximize profits had taken precedence over robust security measures. This systemic negligence created the perfect breeding ground for disaster. At precisely 14:03 GMT, the hackers made their move. Having mapped out the network's architecture and disabled critical security protocols, they launched their final assault. A specially designed piece of malware, disguised as a routine data packet, wormed its way through Mercatrade's defenses, granting the hackers unfettered access to the heart of the system. The effect was immediate and devastating. Transaction logs were altered, security protocols overridden, and funds rapidly siphoned into untraceable offshore accounts. The hackers, moving with surgical precision, exploited a cascade of interconnected vulnerabilities, each one amplifying the impact of the last. Within minutes, millions of dollars vanished into the digital ether. Section 5. Anatomy of a heist. Exploiting the weak links. The hackers' success hinged on a combination of sophisticated techniques and the exploitation of human error. Their malware, a masterpiece of digital deception, was able to mimic legitimate traffic patterns, effectively blinding Mercatrade's automated security systems. They leveraged a technique known as spear phishing, sending targeted emails to unsuspecting employees that tricked them into revealing their login credentials. Once inside, they moved laterally through the network, exploiting weak passwords and outdated software to gain access to increasingly sensitive systems. The hackers' understanding of social engineering, combined with their technical prowess, turned Mercatrade's own systems against itself. Section 6. The shadowy figure, pulling the strings. As the digital heist unfolded, investigators struggled to comprehend the scale and sophistication of the attack. This was no ragtag group of script kiddies. This was a highly organized operation, orchestrated by a criminal mastermind with an intimate knowledge of Mercatrade's systems. The authorities had a digital trail, a breadcrumb trail of IP addresses, encrypted communications, and financial transactions, but it all pointed to dead ends and shell corporations. The mastermind, it seemed, was always one step ahead, leaving no trace of their true identity. The question on everyone's mind was, who could orchestrate such a daring and meticulously planned heist? Section 7. Unmasking the puppeteer. A name from the past. The answer, when it finally came, sent shockwaves through the financial world. The revelation was nothing short of a bombshell, shaking the very foundations of the financial sector. Investors, analysts, and even seasoned professionals were left in utter disbelief. The mastermind behind the $71 million Mercatrade heist was none other than Alastair Finch, a former head of security at Mercatrade itself. Finch, once a respected figure in the industry, had now become the face of one of the most audacious financial crimes in recent history. Finch, a disgruntled ex-employee with a score to settle, had spent years meticulously plotting his revenge. His meticulous planning and attention to detail were evident in every step of his elaborate scheme. He had left no stone unturned in his quest for retribution. He had used his insider knowledge to identify vulnerabilities in the system, vulnerabilities he knew Mercatrade had failed to address. His intimate understanding of the company's security protocols gave him a significant advantage, allowing him to exploit weaknesses that others would have overlooked. Finch had assembled a team of skilled hackers recruited from the darkest corners of the internet and directed them with ruthless efficiency. These were not just any hackers. They were some of the most talented and elusive cyber criminals, handpicked for their expertise and ability to operate under the radar. His betrayal was a stark reminder that the greatest threat to an organization's security often comes from within. It underscored the importance of vigilance and the need for robust internal security measures to protect against insider threats. Section 8. The fallout. A $71 million lesson. The fallout from the Mercatrade heist was swift and brutal. The company's stock plummeted, wiping out billions in market value. Their reputation, once a gold standard in the industry, lay in tatters. The CEO and several high-ranking executives were forced to resign, taking the blame for the catastrophic security failures that had made the heist possible. The financial impact, however, paled in comparison to the loss of trust. Mercatrade, once a symbol of security and reliability, was now synonymous with vulnerability and negligence. The heist served as a stark reminder that in the interconnected world of online finance,